Okay, what we're going to do now is get into low temperature steaming, but before I can get all that done, we have to do some mise en place and make some prep here. One of the request was to show you some of the mousselines that we produce, because when we talk about low temperature steaming, not really steaming, low temperature vapor below 212 degrees, it's a slow cooking process that you're probably very familiar with when you're utilizing your crock pot or slow cooking at home. But we can do high-speed, low-temperature cooking, and it's really something that's very innovative, and I want to take some time and show you a lot of different things and innovative things that you might be able to do. But the first thing that I need to get done is I need to get my smoked salmon mousseline prepared so that I can do it. I'm going to do a few things with it. I have a little flounder. I'm going to make a flounder with a little smoked salmon souffle, if you will, and low-temperature poach it. We're also going to make some little paillettes and steam them off. But I need my mousseline as well. We can make a little seafood sausage as well. So that's what I'm going to be doing here. I have some fresh Norwegian salmon, and I have some Norwegian smoked salmon. I'm just going to put it here in the food processor. Now, whether this is salmon or ground chicken or ground turkey, the formula is always the same. It's 1 kilo, so it will be 2 pounds. For every 2 pounds of meat, if you will, 3 egg whites and about 2 ounces to 3 ounces of breadcrumbs. You can use fresh bread if you want it to be lighter, or you can use flavorized breadcrumbs. About a half a pint of heavy cream, and seasoned to taste. That's a basic formula. We're going to mix it up here. It'll start tightening up. I'm going to add a little more heavy cream. It's always good too to make sure that everything is really ice cold when you're whipping it, because as the blade spins, it can actually cook your mousseline for you. Now, if you like it softer, one technique that we can use is we whip a little heavy cream up separately and fold it in at the end to really make nice little quenelles or garnishes for your soup. So I'm going to use this mousseline in a variety of different ways. Then we're going to low temperature vario steam, or low temperature vapor steam it, moist cooking, if you will. Okay, this is ready to go. Okay, we're back. We're just finishing up with the preparation for the low temperature steaming of what we're going to do here, and we're going to start cooking. Now, low temperature steaming is really not steam. It's actually vapor temperature that's below 212 degrees, and we can go as low as 150. But today, as you saw on the dial, as I was explaining earlier, you can see a little poach mode. It's right on the dial here. So we're going to actually load the combi now, and then lower the temperature and let these things poach, okay? So, in many cases, at the end of the night, you'll take all your sauces, strain them, condense them, put them into a new container. Then the next day, get on the stove, put them all back in a pot, and bring them up to temperature. I found a way that you can actually just put them right into your combi, bring them up to temperature, and never achieve boiling point. It brings the quality and flavor and texture into the soup or sauce. The demi-glace won't get over-reduced. It has a nice little glaze on top, and then right into the bain-marie, and we're ready for service. And when we talk about low temperature steaming, one of the things that if you could visualize an oyster on the half shell. When you steam the oysters on a half shell, or low temperature cook them, I'd say between 150 to 160 or even around 170, the oyster cooks nice and slow and it doesn't shrivel up. Cook the same oyster at 212 and it'll shrivel up and get real rubbery tasting. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a soup in a little bit of a different way. We have some baby clams and we're going to put them right into the cup, okay? And they've already been low cooked, temperature cooked, they're chilled. I'm going to put them into the cup, and by low temperature steaming them, I'm never going to lose or get them up to 212 where they would get really tough. A lot of people will make soup and then put it into a soup server and boil it at 212 degrees all day long, and then actually destroy it. The customers are not getting the same soup at 6 or 7 o'clock as they are at 9 o'clock because it's been cooked away. So this is a way for you to take, increased quality. Now I've got some beautiful Pacific oysters here, and I've cut them in half, and I'm putting a half oyster in each one of these cups, and this is just going to taste absolutely beautiful. The saffron broth was made with clam juice and just a little bit of cream, so it's a nice light broth, and it's screaming. It's up to temperature. Now what we're going to do, I've got some garnish here. We're going to put that right on top. And then we're going to actually put this in the combi and cook it for just 3 or 4 minutes at 170 degrees. And when it comes out, we'll add the broth. We'll do a little garnish, and you got incredible soup. The texture, let me get this in the oven. The texture of the oyster and the baby clams are going to be so soft, you know, they're going to taste like butter. The nice thing about low temperature cooking is that I'm at 170 degrees, okay? So the temperature's not going to go over that. So I've got a nice, gentle poaching going on, and when it's done, we got excellent results, and you're going to see that in just a moment. I'm going to set this aside. One of my favorite dishes to do is I've got some baby spinach. I'm going to wilt that spinach very slowly, and we'll finish it up with a little bit of olive oil and some tangerine juice, salt and pepper, and you just can't do this in a steamer. Steamer's fixed at 212 degrees, okay? And we can adjust that temperature lower. We can also bring the temperature up higher. So a combi is really like 3 types of steamer in one. The important thing that I can do too is I can slow the fan speed down even more, because I've got 4 fan speeds. I'm going to put the fan speed on gentle, okay? So my baby spinach doesn't fly all over the combi, all right? Now, I can see that my dumplings are already done. I'm going to use this for the soup. My poached salmon right on the plate. Now, absolutely, I don't have any of the albumin coming to the surface, and that's the type of thing that you would get when you're steaming at temperatures above boiling point or 212. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at these papayettes. The smoked salmon papayette with the flounder wrapped around it. They're thoroughly poached. You know, this is high speed, low temperature cooking with vapor. Now, of course, too, this is our flounder souffle. And it's just gorgeous. It's perfectly done. The mousseline is nice and firm. It's thoroughly cooked all the way through. Vapor goes right through. Look at the baby spinach. We haven't lost any of it. It's perfect. I want to use these yellow squash and carrots for my banquet and rethermalizing a little bit later on. So I want to make sure we ice them down real well. We'll let these guys keep going. All right. So we're going to dump my vegetables right in there. Something's done. What is it? Oh, it's my soup is ready. So we'll get these in there, shake them up, because we're going to reuse these later, and I've got a lot of really good tips on vegetables for banqueting. Oh, this is beautiful. Now, the oysters are perfectly poached. Incredible, incredible. Look at this. Now I'm going to put each one of these in my little soup. So now I have a very simple poached soup, and now we take this beautiful broth, okay, and just put it in each cup. A little bit in each one. This is unbelievably beautiful. All right? Nice saffron broth. Screaming hot soup. The texture of the oyster in your mouth and the baby clams are so soft. The smoked salmon mousseline. So you just can't get a soup like this, and combi and the low temperature steaming can help you achieve that. Now we've got our little Dover sole souffle, or we'll call it flounder souffle, cooked on baby spinach. We scoop it up, we put it on a plate. Beautiful. We add a little bit of rice, okay, and we've got a beautiful, beautiful garnish there. Little spinach around the side, and we've got a beautiful meal that we can serve to anybody that will really, and it's so simple, but sometimes the most simple things, low temperature steaming is something that you're really going to come to love, and it can affect everything. Slow it down, low temperature cooking, longer cook time. Now we can also cook things in the low temperature steaming method that are just like your crock pot at home. Buy inexpensive cuts of meat, break them down, cube them up, low temperature cook them in a stew, let them go for 2-3 hours, and you're ready to go. You can hold food. Let's bring up our smoked sausage and I'll show you what I mean. You can make a variety of sausages right in the skins, and at that low temperature you're not going to have those skins burst. You can do very gentle cooking. We talked about smoked meats. The gentle vapor goes through the meat. The meat's thoroughly hot, moist, doesn't shrink up. When we talk about sous vide or cook chill, there's a lot of cooked chilled items out there that lend themselves to rethermalizing, and low temperature steam can really help them. Spaghetti, pasta, great dishes for bringing back at low temperature, really controlling the texture of it. But when we talk about sous vide or vacuum cooking, the difference between cook chill is the food is cooked, blast chilled, and then brought back up to temperature. We'll do some rethermalizing in just a little bit. But when we talk about sous vide, the low temperature cooking allows us to actually put raw products into a vacuum sealed bag, seal it, and then low temperature cook it for extended periods of time, monitoring it very carefully, and the results, the flavor, the texture are incredible. These products are produced by a company called Cuisine Solutions, so they have readily available products that are low temperature cooked, incredible results. You bring them up to temperature gently, and you can just take it to the next level. Now you can go ahead and buy these products as well and then overcook them or put them in a convection oven and destroy them. Low temperature vapor is a perfect way to bring them back up to temperature and to control them and have them ready to go right on demand. You saw me make the mousseline of smoked salmon, all right? Well, I also made a chicken mousseline, just ground chicken, the breadcrumbs, the egg whites, and a little bit of cream. And one I made very plain. The other one I folded in some mushrooms and some scallions and parsley. And what I did is I cleared out the inside of a bell pepper, and then I piped the chicken and mushroom mousseline right inside the pepper until you can actually feel it get nice and firm, okay? And then I set it on a dish and go ahead and cooked it. And I have a beautiful, really lunch meat, if you will, right inside a pepper, okay? And the meat actually swells up a little bit as it's cooking. Now that will be a great dish for a garnish on a plate, okay? Now, of course, there's desserts that you can make: custards, tapioca, bread pudding, creme caramel, creme brulee, even low temperature cheesecake. You can make those custards right in a cup, in a pan. So forget about water baths. Low temperature cooking, high speed cooking. A lot of people got away from poaching because it was so much work. Now, high speed, I can have 350 portions of sole ready to go in less than 10 minutes. Our large roll-in model can do closer to 480 portions in under 10 minutes. High volume cooking, low temperature, high quality, incredible results. Slow down, low temperature cooking, something special. Next, we're going to move all this stuff out of here and we're going to get into the hot air mode.